right here. Media groups and associates, things that happen all over the globe. And as things are going on, you need to know the truth about what's happening in your city, your state, and your community. You can get the truth right here at Fake Real News, right here on DKM Media Group and Associates. That is Fake Real News at DKM Media Group and Associates. Things are happening in and around your community. There's an outrage. You need to know the truth. Come and get the truth right here at Fake Real News.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another episode, another edition of Fake Real News. Welcome to another edition of Fake Real News. We got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning. Let me get this right here. Go here. There we go. Bingo. We got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning. I want to make sure that everybody is this afternoon, as you will. I want to make sure everybody is aware that Fake Real News is on. Fake Real News is on, and I want to thank you all for joining us. And we're going to keep this thing going. We're going to keep this thing going. We have everybody here in place right now. I want to make sure we got it. Okay, everybody is here in place. We have in studio with us. We have Bishop in studio with us. Bishop, good afternoon, sir. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. I'm wonderful. By the way, my name is Gregory Adams. Everybody calls me Bishop. I'm Gregory Adams, and I'm proud to be a part of DKM Media Group, Fake Real News, bringing to light the reality of what's really taking place in America today. Our president always talks about the news being fake, but no, there's not fake. It's real. And that's what we're bringing, the real news to you through DKM Media Group and Associates. Back to you, Raheem.
Good deal. Good deal. We have a lot that we want to talk about today, a lot that we want to discuss. And one of the things that we want to discuss, we want to bring in one of our correspondents from California. We'll bring in one of our correspondents from California. Good morning, Rodney. Well, I say morning. Good afternoon. I'm so used to the morning glow. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
Well, good afternoon. It's good to be here with you, Raheem. How are you doing today?
Doing well, sir. Doing well. Doing well. We're going to cover a lot of things. And Rodney, we're going to start off with you. We're going to stay right here with you for a second. And I'm going to ask you about the fires because of the fact that you are in California. Let's talk a little bit about the fires that's going on over there right now.
Indeed. I got a report coming in from Cal Fire. If you want to know what's happening on the ground here in Southern California concerning the wildfires, please go to www.fire.ca.gov. There is some very, very disturbing news. Since the top of the year, there have been over 8,500 wildfires that have ravaged Southern California. 9,000 firefighters are currently still on the ground fighting in 21 different locations, and 12 of them are in major engulfed. They are also have a red flag warning that's been placed. That's because of the winds. The winds are now pushing the fires. And it's very, very sad because there have been over 4.1 million acres burned in this fire. And there is a total of 9,200 structures that have been destroyed. Our governor is also pushing very, very hard to encourage people to make sure that they have their personal burn areas around their house and different areas. Make sure that they keep that cleared, because there are things that, all of that brush that is there, it really, really fuels fires.
Okay.
To get out of control. And for the most part, they want people to be very, very cautious and be mindful, because when these fires start, they can really, really rage out of control. And here in Southern California, year after year, it becomes a major problem. We don't get that much rain, and things are pretty dry, and these fires are very, very prevalent. So we have to be very, very careful. Also, they're saying the wind and these fires are actually pushing poor quality.
Rodney, we're having a little difficulty with your sound.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's kind of it's skipping a little bit in and out, just a tad bit.
Okay.
It was a lot higher, and that it's gone down a tad bit on us.
Okay, hold on. We're trying to check, make sure it's nothing on my side here. Sorry. If you want, go to Bishop, and I'll come right back in.
Okay. Let's go back to. Okay. Bishop, tell us what you think about the fires that's going on in California right now.
Well, I tell you, my heart really goes after the individuals who live in California who are really suffering through this incident. And I'm thankful that when Riley gave us the information of over 9,000 firefighters out there working, I take my hat off to the first responders, not only the firefighters, but also the law enforcement as well, because they're needed to assist. So hearing about what they're dealing with in California, we hadn't experienced anything like that here on the East Coast, and particularly here in Georgia, we haven't. And fires take place. But I believe those men and women are adequately kept up to speed to know what they need to do to try to bring that thing into subjection. I've seen the planes flying over, dropping the waters, but those men and women are out there and they're fighting to try to put those fires out, to try to save as much land and property as they possibly can. So this is something we need to take serious. I heard them trying to say, and those who are in the White House trying to say that it has something to do with global warming. I dare not think that, because fires sometimes started by lightning. That's God's doing, a natural experience. Then those are some who may throw cigarette butts out, or maybe out camping and doesn't probably put out a fire and a little spark. All it takes is a little spark to get on some dry weed, and next thing you know, you got a whole lot of fire going on. So I appreciate the information that Rodney has shared with us. We're having some little difficulties, but we hope to bring him back in because he has a lot more information as it relates to the fires in California. Back to you, Raheem.
Good deal. Good deal. And I encourage everybody, please be careful. If you're camping out and you're doing different things, those are some of the things that as a family you like to do, community sometimes you like to do, but at the same time, you have to be very mindful. You have to be very mindful that make sure you put it all the way out. I remember back in the day, they had Smokey the Bear, and he would always say, be careful, make sure you put it out, stomp it out, or engage it in water, do whatever you need to do. But before you leave, make sure the fire is out, because if you leave it burning just a little bit, before you know it, it could burn out of control. And then you have some of the tragedies that you have over in California. Let's see if we go back to Rodney and see did everything work out with this line. Okay, let me see here. Let's go back here. We having an issue with that. Okay. All right. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go to Bishop. While we waiting on Rodney, I'm gonna go to Bishop, and I'm gonna talk to him about the COVID-19. COVID-19. Bishop, what's on your heart?
Oh wow, that's a great topic we need to be aware of. I don't want to make it too personal, but we have to talk about the reality. We have a president that seems to think that the COVID virus is going to go poof, and it is not. He experienced it himself, and he is not 100% well, regardless to how he tries to put on a mask or fake it as though he's doing well. It is not something that just only hits senior citizens. It hits everyone, young and old, black, white, or whatever your nationality is. It has no respect of person, age, nothing. COVID-19 is serious, and there are individuals that have contracted it. They were treated, now they contracted it again, and it's taking people out. Please make sure you wear your mask. Please consider others. If you don't care about you, care about the others and wear a mask, protect yourself. It is not a joke. And scientists are now saying and predicting by the end of the year, we will have over 240,000 deaths. We have already had caught up over 210. Now we're looking at another 30,000 that's going to possibly be affected by COVID-19. So please make sure you protect yourself and protect others, because believe it or not, their lives as well as your life is worth it. Make sure that you clean your hands, wash your hands, sanitize, and make sure you cover your mouth if you cough or sneeze, because someone somewhere may be able to contract it, and it is airborne as well when you're around someone that's breathing out, and it travels to you. So please make sure you wear your mask, make sure you protect yourself. It is not a game, it is not a joke. And Dr. Fauci has always emphasized how important it is to wear a mask, and he's warning us, make sure we take care of ourselves. Back to you, Raheem.
Actually, I'm going to take it back over to Rodney. I think we have Rodney here.
Yeah,
So,
I'm here.
good deal, brother.
All right.
Finish up what you're saying about California and about the fires that's over there.
Back to the report. Yes, I was reporting a little bit about Cal Fire, and again, these daily updates that Cal Fire puts out, it will tell you everything, every community, and it will give you the in-depth on exactly what's happening here, non-biased here, or regarding the wildfires here in Southern California. Again, if you want to know, again, www.fire.ca.gov. And also, Bishop was talking about the coronavirus. It is very serious. I'm here on the CDC's website, and they're very adamant about making sure that people keep their face coverings on. A colleague of mine was in, I believe he was in up in Santa Monica. Yeah, he was in Santa Monica, and he did not have his face mask on. He was out on the beach, literally on the shore, walking his dog on the beach, and he did not have his face covering on. And he was there. There wasn't a lot of people around him. He was just taking his dog for a walk, and the police came, and they almost gave him $100 ticket for the first offense, because there was no warning there was going to be a ticket for $100 for him not having his mask on. So it's very serious. All cities are different municipalities. Certain people don't care. Certain people think it's a joke. Me personally, I have been places and people have sneezed and literally spit on you. So the reality of it is, if somebody can sneeze on you, and if you do know it's airborne, that's how colds are transmitted and stuff like that. So why not be wise? Why not take a precaution and wear your face coverings? And if it doesn't protect you, if you don't feel like it's protecting you, do it for somebody else, because people with pre-existing conditions, diabetes, heart disease, and different things like that, COVID-19 could be very, very bad for certain people. Certain people can recover from it. Certain people have stronger immune systems than others. And so I think that everybody in the nation should take it very seriously, and hopefully we can get on top of it and make a big impact, and hopefully slow this whole COVID-19 thing down. It has done a lot of damage to businesses. It has wreaked havoc on families and people. And I have personal friends who've lost loved ones, and they were fine until they started getting sick, and then surely, they passed away. So hopefully, God bless everybody who's lost someone or knows someone who was a victim of COVID-19. I actually had a personal friend of mine, one of my old college friends. He came down with it, and he said, though he has recovered from it, he still has stomach issues and things like that. So it's very, very serious. It isn't like some people say, oh, it's just a cold and it'll go away. He has some after effects that have changed him. So I think people need to take the whole COVID-19 thing very seriously, and be, very, very precautious. Again, wash your hands and be very careful about where you are and who you're around at all times.
Good deal.
Yep.
Let me see, can I get myself back on the screen here? Hold on one second. I'm trying to cut back to myself here. Let me see how. There we go. And one of the things that I have an issue with is people saying that they have the right to not wear a mask.
Mm-hmm.
People say they have a right not to wear a mask, and that's fine. Yeah, that is your right. If you choose not to wear a mask, that's fine. But in that choice that you're making, you're also making a choice to infect somebody else. If you, for whatever reason, if you have it and you choose not to wear a mask, then you're also choosing, you're taking your life in your own hands, but you're also taking a lot of other people's lives in your own hands as well. Bishop, what do you say to that?
I agree. You need to be considerate of others. It's your choice if you want to stand out in the rain without an umbrella. But does it make sense? Doesn't make any sense for you to just stand out in the rain, get rained on, when you can get an umbrella or get up under some shelter and protect yourself. But the same way with this COVID-19. Wear a mask, be considerate of others. If you don't care about yourself, please care about others. There's nothing that's so important for me not to consider myself, my well-being, or that of my friends and my family. So I'm going to make sure I protect myself, wear the mask when I go out, make sure I wash my hands and sanitize and do the things that I need to do. I don't take any illness and sickness or infection. I don't take anything like that. I care more about me. And I think everybody else should care about themselves. And being angry because they want to make it mandatory, common sense says they shouldn't have to make it mandatory for you to protect yourself or protect others. But the reason they do that is because apparently common sense is not common anymore. So please, please be considerate. Look at the lives that are being lost. Those are in the hospital. And before, like I said, the end of the year, they're looking for about 30 more thousand to die from coronavirus. And the uptick, there's an uptick as far as people contracting the virus. So please be considerate towards your welfare, your health, and those of others. Back to you, Raheem.
Good deal. Now what we're going to talk about, the town hall meetings. Was supposed to have been a debate. We spoke about the debate last week. There was supposed to be a debate, and people, depending on who you are or who you're siding with, you have a different opinion as to what happened, why it happened, and how it happened. But at the end of the day, there were town hall meetings. Biden said he was going to have one on a certain network, and Trump got wind of it. He came back and he said, well, I'm going to do it on another network. I'm not going to call the names right now, but we're going to do it at the same time. Now, I need to know from Rodney, what do you think about this whole tit for tat situation? And why were the two sides not able to come together and decide on what they were going to do and how they were going to do it? Rodney, what do you say to that? Okay, hold on for a second. Let me get you back on the screen here, Rodney. Give me 1 second there. All right. What do you say to that, Rodney?
Well, again, I think that this whole political climate that's taking place, it really is drawing some serious battle lines between both red and blue. Everybody's looking at this, and people need to understand that, of course, it's very obvious they're trying to outdo one another. I think that it's very disrespectful. And I think that the problem of talking over people and trying to force your opinion and not allow people to logically have time to kind of listen and digest, because a lot of times for me, I'm the type of person that the louder you talk, the less I'm going to listen to you. I want to be able to listen. Volume does not equate truth. Volume and disrespect does not equate facts, a lot of times. And so I think that what they're saying is, I'm just looking here on the report. They said Biden, the Biden ABC town hall tops Trump's NBC town hall ratings. And so I think that what's actually happening, I think they really do need to get a handle on these people stepping on each other's times. And I think that they should institute, if you keep talking and you run over your time, you lose that time. You on your next question. So if you want to just keep talking and rambling or whatever, it should be taken away from you, because I think that what we're seeing in this political race, it's actually reverberating out into the streets. Now, you have to be very, very careful about political things. Yeah, I mean, because now it gets very, very violent, literally violent, and you start talking to people. So me personally, I think that your personal preference about who you're going to vote for, you should keep that to yourself, and you should take it to the polls and you do your business, because you get involved with people and then you start having a battle of the wits, so to speak. Who's right? You're wrong. I'm right. If we start with that, it's going to be literally civil unrest in the streets, because people are going to say, we're right, you're wrong, and they're going to try to force that opinion.
Mm-hmm.
To what's going to matter for our political environment.
Okay, we lost your sound there, Rodney.
Huh?
We lost your sound, brother.
What we're looking at is how this is going to affect our nation, our schools, our jobs, businesses. There's so many things that hinge on this election. So I encourage everybody, November 3rd is a very, very important date. Make sure you get out and vote. If you got your ballots, make sure that you get them in the mail. They do have systems where you can go and check to make sure your ballot has been sent. And there have been statements of intimidation at polls and stuff like that. You have to make sure that you get your vote in. A lot of people feel like my vote doesn't matter. Yes, it does. Every vote matters, so that you can feel that you had a place in this whole election. So make sure you get out and vote, and make sure that you're doing your very best to have your voice heard at the polls. Many people, you need to do your research, check out all your initiatives, check out all the propositions, make sure that you study these, because sometimes it could say yes on something, but it's actually meaning the opposite. So it's very, very tricky. Take your time, read these things very carefully. And a lot of times I wanted to make sure that I kept all of this in my head. So I would make sure that I kept little cheat sheets or whatever I needed to make sure that when I go in and vote, I vote correctly and I put it in. So it's an exciting time. I think this election is going to set the pace for the latter part of the year, and God knows moving forward in 2021. So we want our nation to be better. We want our economy to be better, and so many things. And so hopefully this election will be the trigger that will cause that.
Good deal. Good deal.
Yep.
Let me see now. I want to go to Bishop, and I'm gonna ask Bishop, what is on your heart concerning the backlash? And Rodney spoke briefly about it. The backlash that they're saying that if a certain individual, and we're not gonna call him a name because we're not gonna play that game with them, but if a certain individual don't get into office, there's a potential of a lot of backlash coming. What do you say to that, Bishop?
I heard that statement, and I'm going to piggyback on something Rodney said when he talked about right or wrong. There's neither right or wrong in whatever candidate that you pick. That's a choice. I choose this person or I choose this person based on what they're saying they're going to do for us. But you got to pay attention to what is being said. I heard, as Raheem asked the question, I heard a particular individual say, told some people, stand down and stand by. And that means if I don't get reelected, then let's be prepared to boycott or raise chaos or pain. Certain individuals went after the governor of Michigan because this individual was upset with her. And they wanted to try to do their own trial and jury. They became judge, jury, and executioner, but their plot was fouled. So that's a great thing. When it comes down to voting, look at what the individuals are doing and going to do. Pay attention to whether or not there's any racial divide, there's any confusion being generated through the leadership. We're trying to bring a nation together, not divide a nation. And when we stand up and we take the pledge, we said we pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, where there's supposed to be liberty and justice for all. But then is there liberty? Is there justice for all? Or is there liberty and justice for a select few or a certain race? Please consider the matter. When you go to the polls, let your voice be heard and vote, because your life really does depend on it. But it's not a right, it's a choice of the candidate that you choose. And I choose a candidate that's going to have my best interest in his hand or in his heart to make sure that we get the things that we need. Healthcare, proper healthcare. Taxes, how they're corrected and how they're straightened out. Medicare, Medicaid, safety, the justice and or injustice of humanity. These are the individuals that I listen to. These are the individuals I look to hear what they have to say. And what they say allows me to make the choice, a conscious choice, a conscious decision to elect the person that's going to best represent me and my interests. Back to you, Raheem.
Good deal. Good deal. Now, I want to make sure I get Rodney back in here. There we go. Bingo. I want to talk. It's a couple of other things we're going to talk about before we get out of here. And right now, I'm actually going to go back to Rodney, and I'm going to ask him about the early voting. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that is actually. I'm so and I'm gonna tell you something. Honestly, I'm so happy to hear the amount of people that has taken the opportunity and taken the time to go out there and early vote. Man, people was worried that people wasn't going to turn out and people wasn't going to do this. But I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of numbers. There's a lot of people that's actually voted already. Now, I haven't voted already because I'm waiting on my wife. We're going to go together at the same time. That's the only reason I have not. But Rodney, what do you say about the early voting and the numbers as they are? And I don't know if you have an opportunity to look up some of the numbers or where they are, or I'm sure they may not even let you know yet. But the amount of people that's actually voting already. Rodney, what do you say to that?
Well, I have to tell you, the early voting is a great opportunity for people to get out. You have to make sure. There is some serious speculation about what was going on with the Postal Service and the fact that they were taking certain mail sorters offline and mailboxes off the streets. And I don't know how much of this is, there's some type of direct cause for this thing. I do know for a fact that if you can get out and get your vote counted, get it in the mail, do your very best, that's going to take off the burden. Did you vote? Did you actually get it in? And so I'm very hopeful that our nation will be at its best because, democracy hangs in the balance, with people being able to vote. There's a lot of people who died and fought. And I mean, everything from our military, our rights and everything like that to the civil rights movement for people to be able to get out and have their votes heard. So it's very, very important that you take the opportunity, take your ballots, get them in the mail. And again, like I said, vote from your heart, vote for what matters to you, your family, the economy, the environment. Vote and get your vote in and get it counted because it is very, very, very important. This is a very serious election. I think everybody at this point knows full on well that there are going to be some great changes one way or the other. And so there are going to be people watching this election very, very closely. And so, yes, most definitely, I think it's a great opportunity to get your votes in early.
Good deal. Good deal. Let's keep this thing moving. I want to go over to Bishop. Give me a second. Let me get myself here. There we go. I want to go over to Bishop and find out what he think about the amount of people that has taken the time to early vote. Bishop, what's on your heart? Hold on one second. Let me go right back to Rodney for a second. There's an issue with your camera there. We're gonna make sure that we get that taken care of. Rodney, go just a little bit further, if you will.
And what was the question again, brother?
About the early voting.
Oh, I mean, again, it's really important that people get out and vote because when, you're looking at this election, there's so many things that are hanging in the balance. And, you have to think about your family. You have to not only just think about yourself, but you have to think about the economy as a whole. What's going to help and make our nation better? I think I have friends who are educators who teach children, and this is a very, very serious thing because our administrators, the teachers, they're doing a great job making sure that they are bringing up the next generation. But it's very, very challenging because now the way students are having to study at home, it is forcing them. This is going to be making some major changes to their psyche because, young people, they're used to being able to go to school and have that interaction and to be challenged, by their peers. When you're sitting at home and you're looking at a computer, you really have to be self-motivated and you really have to take in and absorb that information in order for it to impact your knowledge. And so this is a very serious thing. And people don't really know how this whole COVID thing and students being at home, how it's going to impact student learning for months and years to come. So hopefully, it's an amazing thing. I have friends with children at home, and it's very challenging. So we do want to wish all the young people out there and the parents, Godspeed, and make sure that you are helping them the most that you can, because they have to get this information in, and we have to keep moving education and knowledge forward. There's certain things that are going on. Matter of fact, a colleague of mine has the World Diversity Summit coming up in February 2020.
Rodney, we lost your volume, brother.
Oh, sorry, hold on. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, we have the World Diversity Summit coming up, and that's going to actually engage young people in a way. Right now, you have so many young people who are, it's amazing of what's happening. How their scholastic information is being kind of delivered to them. So it's much different. It's much different. But the schools and school districts all across the nation, they're doing their very best to make sure that they keep educating our youth. And so hats off to them, because it's new for them as well. It's new for the educators. And so hopefully it's going to make a great impact, and it's going to be able to help the kids continue to grow, and knowledge will continue to flow. But it's very, very challenging, and definitely a challenging time.
Absolutely. Let me see, can I get over? I'm ready to go over to Bishop. Let me see, can I get myself here? Let me see. Working on it. There we go. Now, I got to do some editing on this. All these little cuts we're doing. We'll take care of that in the after. But right now, what I want to do, I want to go to Bishop. What do you think about this early voting and the amount of people that's actually come out?
I'm highly elated of the number of people that have already come out and did early voting, as well as those who did the mailing and ballots. In Georgia, we have cleared over 1 million people that have voted, and across the nation, we cleared over 14 million. That sends a strong message and a high precedence that people are really paying attention to what's going on in America, and they want change. They want progress for this nation. We've had a whole lot of unrest, different individuals that were killed at the hand of law enforcement. If you don't pay much attention to some of these commercials, because in politics, they voice their opinions. Politicians or individuals running for office, sometimes they make promises. The Supreme Court has said, if you're advertising a product, you have to make sure you tell the truth about that product. But when you're running for office, you don't necessarily have to tell the truth, because it becomes an opinion or desires of an individual. That does not make it anything that can be against the law. It's a shame, it's sad, but it is true. And that's why it's so important that you get out there and you register and you vote. The registration process is over. Now we're in the voting. Georgia has started. They started early voting, and it runs from October the 12th to October the 30th. The election is November the 3rd. Please, please vote. But as it states and where it stands right now, these were numbers that were given to us 2 or 3 days ago. So as it relates, please get out and vote. But I am so elated at the number of people that have voted thus far. And I'm looking at the lines, and the lines are around the corner, because people are taking it so serious, because they know we need this change. We need a leader that's going to really lead, that have the interests of the people in his heart, because he's focusing on the needs of the American people. And then as a president of the United States of America, you have to make alliance with other countries. This is one of the things that really has helped America during the World War I, World War II. Back then, we can go all the way back to the War 1812 or the American Revolution. There was partnership with France, and there was partnership with England, and there was partnership with Russia. It really was when it comes down to certain wars. So you got to have the ability to bring in and garner relationships and friendship. That's why it is very important that we do elect the person that's going to be called the president, the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the United States of America. So please get away from that childish mindset, and I hope God don't offend anybody when you say my vote don't count. The only time your vote don't count is when you don't vote. then it does not count. But if you vote, your vote counts, and we thank you for your patriotism towards this nation and picking a leader that's going to lead this country to a better horizon. Back to you, Raheem.
Good deal. Good deal. Man, I'm going to tell you something. This is good. This is real good. And I hope that you all are listening to what's being said. I hope you all are hearing what's being said to you right now, because your vote is very important. There's been a lot of times where people say, well, my vote don't count. My vote don't this, my vote. It doesn't matter. Yes. If you can see the situation that this country is in right now, if you can see the situation that this country is in right now, then you can also see that your vote does count. Now, we have a candidate for Supreme Court, and there's a lot of things going on with this young lady that's running for the Supreme Court. Some people have different opinions on it. But right now, I'm going to go to Rodney. Rodney, what's your thought about the some people are saying that the sitting president, the president that's coming into the office, the new president, whoever it's going to be, whether it's Biden or whether it's Trump, that person should make that determination as to who the Supreme Court justice is. It is being said that is the process, because if I remember correctly, when Obama was in office, they said that no, you cannot elect the new Supreme Court judge because of the fact that, you know, we're in the middle of a debate and we're in the middle of a presidential run. So what makes it different now, Rodney? What makes it different? Why is it that Trump is able to do the same thing that they told Obama that he could not do?
Well, again, I think that this is a situation that the United States government and the people of the United States of America need to watch very, very carefully, because, you know, when these judges are seated, this is a long-term deal, and their opinion and how they rule on certain things are going to be impactful for a long, long time. This is not like these are short appointings, and when you can just sit down and maybe 5 years down the road, they're going to bring someone else in. This is something that's going to be really, really major. And I think that, again, this is something that has to be looked at from all angles. This is something that is far, far beyond my comprehension. And the question is it legal? Is this physically legal, and is this possible? I don't know. If I knew, I'd be going down some, statement with it, but I don't know. I think that this is something that needs to be brought up. And if one president couldn't do it, why should another president be able to do it? That's something that's very, very serious that needs to be looked into. And there are so many different initiatives and things that this one incoming person, Miss Amy Coney Barrett, it's serious. And so we have to find out what's going to make a difference going forward. And is this actually a proper appointing? So that's where Fake Real News is going to stay on top of it. Raheem, I know you're going to do your best, and Bishop, I know you guys everybody's researching this, and the whole purpose of this broadcast and all broadcasts is just to keep a balanced set of information going out and real truth, because people need to know what the general populace are saying about certain things. And so we have to do our part, and that's what you're doing. And hats off to you and continue great broadcasting here on the MK Media Group. There you go.
Good deal. Good deal. Now, my thing is this right here. And Rodney touched on it. I'm going to go to Bishop. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. That's something my grandma used to say a long time ago. What's good for the goose is... Now, if it's not okay for President Obama to elect and a Supreme Court judge during that time, it still should not be right for Trump to do. If it was good for the goose, it's good for the gander.
Absolutely.
And I'm just trying to, I'm trying to weigh my mind around. I'm trying to find some kind of a justification. I guess is what I'm doing when I shouldn't do that. Bishop, what do you say?
Well, what you just stated, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. But in some people's opinion, then it goes duck, duck, goose. And that is apparently what is taking place. I was reading that Mitch McConnell made the statement himself during the Obama administration that they would not pass or approve of any nominee that President Obama wants to replace a sitting justice. And now Mitch McConnell has changed his tune and said they're going to do this. That's not fair. That's not right. And as Vice President Biden said last night, if it was not permitted during the Obama administration, the same issues that we're facing today, why would it be approved in the Trump administration? The difference is during Obama's administration, Obama still had a year in his presidency. In this administration, Trump only has 3 months, in less than 3 months. So this sends a precedent that, as you stated, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. But I guess they'll say Obama was the duck, and here's the goose. That's what they were probably saying, but I don't see it that way. And I think the American people should let their voice be heard, because what's good for one should be good for all.
Exactly.
Trump should not be able to come in and railroad and get his nominee in. And Mitch McConnell, who is, I hate to use the term, but I'll digress from that, who is now allowing and pushing this Senate hearing to approve this person for the Supreme Court. Raheem, it's on you.
I just want to understand, is there still a Republican Party? Because everybody is pretty much just wavering and favoring anything that Trump say, anything that Trump wants to do. And I don't understand what's happening to the Republican Party. Lindsey Graham, there's another person that, you know, I don't know. I don't understand what's going on. Lindsey Graham, he at first he didn't like Trump. He was against Trump and all these different things. And now Trump could walk on water.
Yes.
Trump could do whatever he wants to do. Lindsey Graham, and Mitch for Romney for a long time, he could not. He just didn't like Trump, and all of a sudden I don't know what Trump have over these people, but something is going on. Rodney, before we get out of here, help me understand, brother.
But again, it is one of these things that's very, very much political. And I'm personally, as a person who actually ran for an office, actually I ran for mayor for the city of Compton here in California. I never imagined, it's almost comical. I'm telling you, it is almost hilarious, because when you get into one of these political situations, and when I ran, I thought the most amazing thing was you're going to be talking to people and you're going to be saying, oh, I'm going to do this, and this is how it's going to impact the city. And people would be coming to you and you don't know you're talking to the enemy. And they would ask, what are you going to do for my child? Child needs a job. What are you going to do? So I'm giving all this incredible advice, and I'm actually talking to the enemy. The reality of it is, it's a sad thing, because when you look at our nation and the leadership, and when they say one thing and then directly do another, that's bad. And I mean, and a lot of people say it's always like that. It's always been like that. But at what point will it end? Because again, I think the primary and the number one thing that has to be put in place is this is all about America. What's going to be best for our whole nation, not just a portion of the people. And there has to be some kind of balance where it all fits and all works together. And so I think that this election is very, very important. Make sure, all I can say, get out and vote. That's it.
Good deal. Good deal. And my thing is, I'm never one to tell anybody who to vote for. I just don't do that. I don't tell you who to vote for. But what I will tell you is the person that I'm going to vote for last name starts at the beginning of the alphabet and not toward the end. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. But what I will say to you, the person that I'm going to vote for, last name starts at the beginning of the alphabet and is not at the end. Bishop, what's on your heart?
Love what you said. I love how you phrased it. We don't have the right to tell you who to vote for. That's your choice.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to bring to mind the preamble. And this is what I look for our leader to demonstrate. The preamble to the Constitution reads, "We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare at hand, secure the blessings of liberty." The preamble. The Constitution was put in place to protect the rights and the freedom of all. Please vote and make sure you vote for the right candidate, because believe it or not, your life really does depend on it. Thank you for allowing myself, Gregory Adams, Rodney Allen, and Raheem Ashibi to bring forth you, DKM Media Group, Fake Real News. I'm going to turn it back to Raheem and let us take us on. Raheem.
Well, actually, I want to go and touch Rodney before we get out of here. Rodney, is there anything that you want to say to the listening audience, or any way of if they want to get in contact with you? How can we do that, Rodney?
Well, we're, definitely they could reach me through DKM Media Group as well. You can also find me on Facebook, Rodney Allen Rippey. On Facebook, Rodney Allen Rippey. Find me on Instagram, find me on Twitter. Say hello, and thank you for all the years of support. Big shout out to our LA Lakers for taking home the big championship. We appreciate them doing a great job. We're very excited about that, and hopefully Bloodline Sports will be bringing some more sport reports. I'm actually working with a group here, and it's exciting. It's exciting times, and I think that beyond the seriousness of COVID and the elections and everything, we must keep living. We must keep living. We must keep praying. We must keep striving for it, and we will. God's not dead. He's on the throne. He's in full control. And like I said, we must know. And matter of fact, I will touch base on this real quick. A lot of people are saying, was this COVID a bad thing? Me and some of my people have actually thought, and I guarantee you, when you start looking at it, there are some things that happen during this time that are actually some benefits. And that's what we were talking about earlier, Raheem. People are starting to look at, do I really need to go out? Do I really need to be eating out at restaurants? It's expensive to go out and be blowing money and things like that. People are starting to save more money. People are staying in. And then people are actually having more time with their family. People are having more time to think and to build their dreams. And so take this time, take the slow down. Don't see it as a bad thing, and say, how can I make my life better? How can I have more time to delve into the word? How can I better myself? How can I study more? How can I improve? How can I clean? How can I organize? How can I dream bigger? That's what this time is all about, to prepare us for 2021. I thank you, Raheem, for giving me this opportunity. Continued success to Fake Real News. Thank you, Bishop, for everything. God bless everybody out there, and keep watching.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And like I said, again, it's been a great broadcast. I definitely want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Fake Real News to be a part of your day. We're here every Friday. From 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Sometimes we go a little bit over, but we try to start right on time. And as a matter of fact, we do start right on time. But if we have a little technical difficulty, our main objective is to make sure that we bring you the best product that we can, in every way that we can. So make sure that you continue to spread the word. Know that Fake Real News is here. Some say it's a play on words. I say we're just dealing with the angle. I say it that way, the angle that some people say. Fake news, fake news, fake news. No, we're giving you the real news right here on Fake Good News right here on DKM Media Group and Associates. So it is now time for us to get out of here for today. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing Fake Real News to be a part of your day. I want to do me two favors, if you will. I need you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And we shine some of this light on you from Fake Real News. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. You all have a great day. Love you. And like I said, if you get an opportunity, give somebody else an opportunity to have some love too. You might just find some love in return. Getting out of here now. Have a great one.
I love when you spit that out there, boy. That's how you got to do it.
Take care, brothers. God bless.
God bless you.
All right, man.
Things are happening in and around your community. There's an outrage. You need to know the truth. Come and get the truth right here and Fake Real News. Fake Real News.